Hey, what is up you guys, Upixels here, and welcome to a new video here on the channel. So today we are working on a brand new shell challenge. This shell was made by one of my close friends, Hiphiprenee. She also makes Sims content here on YouTube and on TikTok, so you guys should definitely give her a follow. All of her links will be in the description below, so show her some love. But yeah, she did this shell a couple of weeks ago, just before the Sims 4 for Rent released, and I decided to participate because I thought it would be fun. And I actually really had a lot of fun working on this. I am incredibly proud with how this turned out. I love this build. I really love this build. I don't know, I really like how it turned out. I love both apartments. The downstairs apartment is beautiful, the upstairs apartment is beautiful. I love how this turned out, and I really hope you guys like it too. Now, I'm just gonna be completely and blatantly honest with you guys. I always find it funny when I work on shell challenges. And the reason I find it funny is because, I I upload regular speed builds once a week. Every Wednesday I post a speed build. And I love all my speed builds. I think I build pretty awesome things. I'm tooting my own horn a bit, but I think my builds look pretty cool. But when it comes to shell challenges, I'm just gonna be honest, I give it a little bit of extra attention. I give it a little bit of extra love, extra care. I try to make it look really good. And it's because I kind of see this as a as an opportunity to grow my channel. Like, right now the shell challenge that we're currently working on is a shell challenge by Hiphiprenee. And she has a larger following than I do on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok. She has a larger following everywhere. And I know she's going to tour these builds eventually. So I kind of see this as I can't speak today. As an opportunity for new audiences to see my builds, and maybe they'll want to check out the channel. So I always give these builds a little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra attention, just to see if potentially there are people out there who like what they see and they want to check out the channel. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I love doing shell challenges specifically for that reason. Like, I love working on these, but I'm a small YouTuber. I have to grow. So, I always give these shell challenges a little bit of extra attention, a little bit of extra love than I do my regular builds, because, I want to show off a bit, because I do think I'm a pretty good builder. So I always kind of want to show off a little bit and see if people like what they see. So I always kind of find it funny when I work on these shell challenges, because I've noticed, I'm like, I'm gonna give this build a little bit of extra love because a new audience might see it. It's funny. It's funny. I find it kind of funny. But yeah, I am so happy that Renee decided to do a shell challenge. Like, I'm so happy that she decided to do this shell, because I have been wanting to participate in a shell challenge for a while. Like, it's been a couple of months. I've been craving a shell. I've been wanting to do a shell challenge. And it's just, like, I scroll through Twitter and I do see people posting shells on Twitter saying, hey, I just posted a shell. Let's do this shell challenge. Let's have fun. And, that's cool and all. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't really like participating in shell challenges that people who I don't know post. Like, if you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see that in my challenges playlist, all of the shell challenges that I've worked on are shells created by friends, like Hiphiprenee or Silly Simmas. I don't really like participating in shells of people that I don't know. Like, sometimes a random person's shell pops up on my Twitter, but I'm not going to participate in it because I don't know you. Why would I work on your shell? It's weird, but I just like working on shell challenges that my friends created. I don't really like participating in random internet people's shells. I don't know why. I prefer to work on friends' builds, So, I've been really wanting to do a shell challenge these last few months, and finally, finally, Renee posted one. So here we are. And I love how this turned out. I think this looks awesome. I think I did a pretty good job. I love both apartments, the first floor and the second floor. I love how different they look, the different colors, the different vibes. I just love how this turned out, and I kind of want to work on another shell. So Renee, if you're watching this, sweetie, maybe do another shell, or any other friend out there who's potentially watching this video. I don't know, maybe Silly Simmons is watching. You should also do a shell. I would participate. I just really like doing shell challenges. I also had a lot of fun working on this shell challenge because I worked on this while I was in pain, which doesn't sound great. Okay, so in my last speed build, I mentioned how I had to go to the dentist and I couldn't record videos or anything like that because I had a weird issue with my gums near my wisdom teeth. Like, they were inflamed, they were in pain. I was in pain. I was in absolute agony with, my gums being swollen and everything like that. So I didn't really feel like recording videos or talking to anyone or pretty much doing anything. I just wanted to lay in bed and watch TV all day. But I did work on this, and it was kind of fun to get my mind off of things, to get my mind off of what the hell was going on in my mouth. So, working on this shell challenge was actually really, really fun because I wanted to disappear. I wanted to detach my mouth, leave it somewhere, and disappear because I was in so much pain. But luckily, the dentist prescribed me this weird, liquid that I'm supposed to slosh around in my mouth, and that's actually helped me a lot. I don't feel pain anymore, so that's great. And, I could record videos again, and I could do these long voiceovers because this video is 20 minutes long. Jesus, 20 minutes long. Oof. That's a lot of talking. That is a lot of talking. But I also didn't want to cut out too much from this speed build because usually I do cut out a lot because I hate long videos. But I really, really like how this turned out. So I want you guys to see almost everything because I think this turned out pretty freaking cool. I really, really like how this turned out. And look, I know I'm tooting my own horn a little bit too much, and it's probably getting annoying. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm genuinely very happy that I love how this turned out because for the last few weeks, I've been kind of struggling to build in The Sims 4. That's why I've missed a couple of Sims 4 speed build uploads because I work on it for maybe like 5 hours. I hate how it looks, so I just bulldoze it and start over. And I work on that thing for like 5 hours. I hate it and I bulldoze it. It was like a vicious cycle of me not getting any builds done because I would hate everything that I worked on. So working on this and absolutely loving it after weeks of me hating every single thing I worked on, it was fun. It was awesome. I really, really like how this turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. I really, really enjoyed it. Now I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish I would have added more color to the first floor apartment, but I think it looks good. I think it looks good. It's very modern. There's a lot of wood tones. There's a lot of white and black. I think it fits the kind of vibe that I was going for, but part of me wishes I would have added more color. But I do make up for that in the second floor apartment. It's more bright, it's more colorful, I guess, but not too colorful. It's brighter, it's cheerier. So if you're not into dark themes, maybe the second floor apartment is more to your liking because it's more bright and it's more cheery, as compared to the first floor apartment where it's just modern browns, blacks, whites. So yeah. By the way, it took me the entire day to psych myself up to do this voiceover, to do this video, because it's a 20-minute speed build, and I'm not even kidding. I am always intimidated by speed build videos that are this long because I know I have to sit here and talk for the entire length, and that terrifies me. That terrifies me. I feel like the the sweet spot for speed build videos is maybe 10 to 15 minutes long. When it goes over that 15-minute mark, I start sweating. I start getting nervous because I feel like, you know, I nothing interesting really happens in my life. Like last week I uploaded a 22 minute, speed build, and obviously I had to talk for 22 minutes, but that was easy. That was easy because I was telling you guys about, my mouth issues and having to go to the dentist and all that stuff. So I had something to talk about. But for this week's voiceover, I have nothing to talk about. Nothing interesting has happened in my life this week. So I get intimidated. And like, if you're a content creator, please let me know if you feel the same way every single time you have a long speed build. Because my life is boring. I don't leave my house. I don't leave my room. I mostly stay indoors playing video games, watching movies. So my life is pretty boring. Nothing crazy happens to me. So I always get intimidated when my voiceover are this long because I have nothing to talk about. My life is boring, okay? So I always get a little bit nervous. But I really, really need good things, hopefully, to happen in my life because, with the new Sims 4 for rent pack, obviously I'm going to build apartment buildings, and those videos are obviously going to be very long. So I need things to talk about. I need things to talk about. And the crazy thing is, I actually do kind of have some things to talk about, but I don't think they would be appropriate or fun for these speed builds. Like these last few days, I've been watching a lot of movies, a lot and a lot of movies. I'm not even kidding. I've been watching so many movies. And I would kind of want to talk about them and kind of give my opinions on certain movies, but I feel like that doesn't work in a speed build. So I've been considering possibly starting a podcast or another YouTube channel where I talk about horror movies and, maybe do reviews and, give my opinions on movies because I love horror movies. So I feel like that would be so much fun, but I don't know. I don't know. I did post about it on Twitter how I would love to start a horror movie podcast where I just talk about horror movies, but I don't want to do it alone. And Hiphiprenee, actually, she texted me like she would love to do it, but I need to teach myself how to start a podcast, how to do all that before I'm like, yeah, let's do it, because you can't just jump into something without completely knowing how to do it. So I kind of want to educate myself first, on how to run a podcast, how to do a podcast before doing it, because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. So, maybe in the future, maybe in the near future, you guys might get a podcast where I talk about horror movies. So if you're interested in that, keep your eyes peeled. No, that's if you want to see something. Keep your ears peeled? That sounds disgusting. You know what? Point is, if you're possibly interested in that, keep your eye on my channel and possibly Twitter. I don't know. But yeah, I do have things to talk about, but I don't think they would be appropriate for speed builds. So yeah, I'm still in that weird dilemma where I'm gonna have so many long speed builds to do, but I have nothing to talk about during them. So it's very, I get nervous. I get nervous because I don't want people to find these videos boring. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, here we are on the second floor. We're working on the second unit or second apartment, whatever you want to call it. We're working on the second one. And as you can see, there's definitely a little bit more color than the first floor. There's a lot of blacks, whites, golds, yellows, tans. So, if you want a brighter apartment, the second floor is definitely it. I really, really like how this turned out. And I also got to use a lot of the new items from that one kit. What is that kit called? I don't know what that kit is called, and I know that kit isn't new, but it's new to me because I bought it when I was working on this, so it's new to me. It is new to me, and I really, really love a lot of the items in that kit, and I thought it would fit perfect for the second floor apartment, and it looks good. I really, really like how the second floor apartment looks. I love how the first floor apartment looks. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I would love to live in either one of them. Even though, personally, I think I would prefer the first floor because it's kind of bigger. And the kitchen in the first floor is a little bit larger. But they're both good. They're both good. Oh, and as you can see, the bathroom in the second floor has a giant window facing the front of the building. And look, it's The Sims. It's okay for your sim not to have privacy. No one's looking up there. Your sim is good. If they want to get butt naked and run across the street, I'm pretty sure that's fine in The Sims 4. So, it doesn't matter that there's a giant window in the bathroom right next to the bathtub. Oh, the fuck? Did you guys hear that? Someone just beeped their horn right in front of my building. Anyways, yeah, it's completely fine that there's a giant window in the second floor bathroom. It looks good. It looks good. That's all that matters, is that it looks good. Anyways, I think we began working on the exterior, and I do move this building from this lot to a smaller lot, and I definitely think that helped because A, I had no fucking clue what to do for the exterior of this build, and B, sometimes downsizing is a good idea. What the fuck? Who's beeping? I hope my mic catches that. But there's like cars beeping horns right in front of my building. What the fuck? Oh, and by the way, speaking of the front of my building, the other day I literally saw someone's car getting broken into. And I didn't call the cops. And I know I probably should have. I know I should have called the cops, but I did not. So let me give you guys a quick explanation. So I live in an apartment building, right? And my apartment faces the front of the building, so I get to see the street and I get to see the apartment building across the street, right? And the building across the street, they have street parking, so they could park right in front of the street. And, I was sitting in the kitchen, which overlooks the front of the building, and I saw this weird gold colored car park right next to one of the vans that are, parked on the street. And behind that gold colored car, there was a white car, like a white beat up car. And I'm just looking, I'm like, why are you stopping in the middle of the street? This is a main street, this is a very, very busy street. You're not supposed to park right in the middle of the street. What are you doing? So I kept paying attention. And that's when I saw it. A guy hopped out of the car wearing a balaclava and he started like pulling on the parked car's door handle and just pulling and just pulling and just pulling. And he was sort of blocked by the car that was parked in the middle of the street right next to the parked, next to the car that they're trying to break into. And he just kept pulling and just kept pulling and just kept pulling. And I guess he couldn't get in and he pulled really, really hard, breaking the car's door handle. He threw it on the floor, and I guess, like I mentioned, since I live on a busy street, more cars, more traffic started coming, and they had to stop right behind the car of the people breaking into the other car. And I guess they got nervous because they jumped back into their getaway vehicle. They drove around the block, came back when the traffic cleared, got out of the car, and started to try again to break into that car. When they couldn't open the door, they just broke the back window, hopped in that way. I have no clue what they did inside the vehicle because they couldn't steal it, and they just got back in their getaway vehicle and dipped. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I mean, I guess that person didn't get their car stolen. I mean, they're having a shitty day because somebody broke their fucking car handle and their back window, but you know what? At least your car's still there, dude. That's all I can say. And I didn't call the cops. I probably should have, but I was just too busy watching what was happening. So yeah. And I also would have taken a video, but my phone was in my room and I didn't want to miss what was happening, It's not every day you get to see somebody's car getting stolen or broken into. I sound like a horrible person, but like when things like that happen, you kind of freeze and you just kind of watch it happen, okay? And when the thieves drove off in their getaway vehicle, I did grab my phone and I took a picture of the busted up van they left behind, the van they were trying to steal. So I do have a picture of the van with the busted back window and the broken door handle, but I'm not going to post it here or anywhere because it does show the apartment building in front of my building clearly. And I know that there are some internet creeps that could probably find out where I live just by seeing the apartment building across the street. And that's creepy, so I'm not going to post that picture anywhere. But I live on a busy street. I'm surprised that no one called the cops. I mean, I didn't call the cops, so. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It was also broad daylight. It's whatever. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.